Hi, I'm Nat, and I'm a woman in need of a wardrobe refresh. Every year around springtime, I look into my closet and think to myself, where did my personality go? Truth is, the clothes didn't change. I did. My perception of myself, my likes and dislikes and need to express has evolved into something new, and suddenly the clothes available to me don't reflect who I am. The way I live my life, there are only a few solutions to this problem. 1. Pursue that New Year's intention where I said I wanted to sew more and start on a handmade wardrobe of unique pieces that really feel like me. 2. Figure out which of my clothes don't feel right anymore and alter them to fit back in. 3. Buy ready-to-wear pieces of clothing from thrift stores or the occasional retail store. I know my sense of self and style will change again, and I know that it's way too easy to throw away clothes if you get it cheap at a store. Using that same logic, a handmade piece that I spent hours working on will probably stay in my closet for way longer and contribute less to the massive waste of the fashion industry. And, if crafted right, allow me to change over time. It's always a good idea to set intentions, and after playing around with some inspiration, I've found out what colors, shapes and silhouettes I gravitate toward these days. I'm very attracted to bright colors, whimsical graphic applications and comfortability. I want the funky details that make you look twice. I want happy clothes that will boost my mood and surprise and delight others around me. Is that too much to ask? I knew I had quite a few pieces of clothing in my closet that don't meet these criteria, but I'm optimistic that they could with a little alteration. So instead of getting rid of them, I put them aside to work on later. I only sorted a few pieces away for selling, and the rest I'll keep as is. Because I'm always eager to start as soon as I get the inspiration for new projects, I couldn't wait to cut and prepare the fabric for the first 4 new additions to my future dream closet. Yesterday I started cutting out fabric, but I didn't quite finish, so I'll do that now and then I'll show you what I'm going to make. Now that I have all my pieces cut, I'll tell you what I'm going to make. This is going to be wide pants. I'm using this pattern from Selfmade. It's the 261 pattern in size 44. This will be a pair of sweatpants. I'm using another pattern from Selfmade, the 258 in size 44. This will be a collared shirt. I'm using this thrifted tablecloth and the Gilbert top pattern from Helen's Closet. This is a stretch fabric that I got from my mother-in-law. I used this top, long sleeve top, as a guide and made my own pattern. So it will be really interesting to see if this turns out well. It will just be a tight long sleeve shirt. So for the blue shirt, I had to do a little bit of patchworking again because it just didn't fit on the tablecloth, and I really wanted to use as much of the embroidery as possible. So I cut out 2 pieces for the back, and now I will sandwich them together like this, and there will be a little seam here, but it will be almost invisible. the yoke to the back piece, and I was a little bit confused about my next step because apparently I'm only sewing the top layer to the front pieces and not the back layer. I did read a little bit further in these instructions just to be sure that I understood it correctly, and it is correct. I think it's supposed to be like that to give it a really nice finish at the end. I just attached the front pieces to the shoulder. You can see here I actually cut my piece wrong. I had drawn on the fabric twice, and then after the first time I decided to move the fabric just to get the embroidery in a different place, and I accidentally followed the old line. So I just kind of put an interfacing band-aid on it right here, and I'm hoping when I add, what's that called? The kind of collar lapel thing? You can't even see it. So I just started overlocking these hems on the shoulder seams, but then I realized if I'm using the other yoke to kind of hide it later, then I don't need to finish those seams. I just sewed the wrong edge. It should have been this. No time to rip. I just interfaced the same pieces on the same side, and they're supposed to be like this. We're back on track. After that parade of mistakes, the rest of the shirt went pretty smoothly. I actually had never done a double yoke or grading before, so I learned a lot from this project. I also had to add a different kind of fabric than the thrifted one I got because there wasn't enough. So the collar and the sleeves are a slightly different color, but it almost looks like it's on purpose. Now I am ready to add the color to the neckline. Very exciting. Very exciting. So the color is now done, or at least basted in there. I need to do the burrito method in a way that I've never done it before. Rolling away this part, getting this over the color, and then matching shoulder seams. Oh, also have to match these. This is really lining up beautifully. I'm quite surprised because I usually make some kind of mistake at this point. So I did a stitch all the way around, and now I'm going to grade and clip corners. Okay, so moment of truth. There it is. So I stitched in the ditch right here just to fixate the back yoke, and it's looking really pretty. Of course, the pretty insides is kind of ruined by this giant scar of a back where I had to mesh it together. Now time for the side seams. So we're getting close to the finish. Now the next thing I will do is finish the other projects that I have for today. But I need a serger for that because it's stretch fabric. So I'm really lucky that my new town has a public workshop where you can sew and do a lot of things, and it's very cheap. So I'll go there today and search together all of my stretch fabric, and I'll try to show you a little bit, but it'll be a little bit incognito. It's funny that I thought I could finish the rest of these projects in one day, when in reality it took more than 2 days. I started working on a striped stretch shirt, and I quickly figured out that the shirt I've been using as a guide had been stretched out in wear, and I just transferred that stretch to this shirt. So I got way too much fabric under the arms, and I had to try to fix it some way. But it was fun trying to work with a serger and stretch fabric. It's not easy, but I really want to try again. I added around 5 or 6 centimeters of length to both of the pants because I'm quite tall, and I usually have this issue with pants, both in the patterns that I buy but also the regular pants that I buy. That's one of the reasons I'm sewing, so I can have pants that actually are long enough. After many days of this sewing mania, I finally reached the finish line, and it's time to show you the results. These striped pants are a great pant to relax in. The fabric is really soft and the fit is loose. I would love if the crotch was a little bit higher, though it sits a little bit low. As I mentioned, I added 6 centimeters to each leg for tall girl reasons. I wear these a lot when I'm just lounging around the house, and that's exactly the reason I made them, so that's perfect. The checkered pants kind of have the same problem as the striped ones. The crotch is a little bit too low for my taste. I originally wanted to wear these out as a just everyday pant, but I've been getting some feedback that they look a little bit too much like pajama pants. So I'm not sure anymore. What do you think? Unfortunately, I'm not very happy with the result of this self-drafted shirt. I think it's just because the stretch is hard enough as it is, and I tried to just do it off of a shirt I had. It still looks nice and I will use it. Making the Gilpert top, I learned so much. I get so many compliments when I wear this shirt, and I will make others. This pattern is definitely the most high-end, most detailed pattern out of all the 4 that I made this time around. I'm figuring out that there really is a point to buying patterns from designers who really make an effort to make the garment look really nice and clean and finished afterwards. As I mentioned, I had to add some fabric to the collar and the sleeves because I didn't have enough of the tablecloth that I bought. I added buttons, both round and square, and I think that gives it a nice little funky twist. Well, that was my attempt to start my 2025 style refresh. I'll continue on this journey and keep you updated.